welcome to a new video. I made a purchase this morning through Facebook Marketplace of this. I've been on the lookout for these little old-fashioned chest of drawers, little ones that go on your table, and I missed out on a lovely antique leather one at the Frome Artisan Market that me and the kids went to the other day, well, a couple of weeks ago now. And so Jude has been kindly looking out for me on Facebook Marketplace, and one had gone that she found, one didn't reply, and then there was this one that was quite nearby. It's a bit smaller than I thought it was, I'll be honest with you. It's a bit smaller, but I didn't pay much money, so I don't mind. And it's a really solid bit of furniture, and I think it was used for, well, the guy said it was for jewellery or something, so there was a lock here, because you can't open the drawers until that bit has opened up, and then you can open the drawers, which are tiny. One of the reasons why I bought this is because I wanted to have a reorganise, and I thought I'd bring you along with me, have a good sort out, tidy up, and a bit of a declutter I suppose, but mainly I wanted to sort out what it is I keep here. This is like prime real estate, as they say, in my study studio bit. And there are things here now that I don't really reach for very often, so it doesn't need to be here. So I thought I would see if I could swap things around. I needed a bit more storage. I think this is going to go here and just lift everything up, or it might end up here. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see. And I'll show you what else I'm going to do over here. Yeah, so at the moment, all my oil paints, because originally I wasn't oil painting very often, they sort of have lived in this wooden case up on the shelf over there, but now I'm using them all the time, so it seems stupid for them to be taking up space on the table that's really needed. The space is needed. I don't know if they're even going to fit. I'm going to see. Maybe I can fit all my oil paints in here. I forgot to ask the seller, but I'm glad that the drawers do come right out, so that's what I'm loving about these drawers here. They all come out and then I can sit them here. Also over here I have this tray of Bombay ink. These are from Dr. P.H. Martin, and these are what I use to write the poems on my paintings with my glass dip pen. And so these get used all the time as well. So again, I want these in here. And what I don't need is a lot of all these pens. So I went through a bit of a phase of buying some pens off eBay when I was doing my creative journaling. When I started out that, I had all these plans. I watched all these people on YouTube doing beautiful sketchbooks and creative journals and that sort of thing. I bought these from eBay. I'll be honest, I don't really use them. This is the struggle I'm having at the moment, I'll be honest with you. A lot of the products I bought early on aren't light fast. And obviously now I'm a professional artist, I can't be selling that sort of thing. And there's still some things over here from the sewing room days. For example, the pearls are from when I was sewing pearls onto dresses. I kind of left that basket of pearls up there just because it's so pretty. It looks lovely up there. I like seeing it. I could be putting something else there. One of these jars of paintbrushes that I don't use often, that sort of thing. There's like crafting things, you know, from when I was doing my journal making and that sort of stuff. They don't really need to be in this spot. Anyway, hopefully by the end of this video I will have this whole corner completely sorted, reorganised and all set to go. Right, let's start by giving this a good thorough clean, I think. I'm glad I negotiated him down because it is really grubby. Well, before I carry on, I thought I would just show you some of the bits and bobs, particularly the things that are getting moved or taken away completely. So this box has a mix of crafting stuff, lots of paper flowers that I haven't used yet. I do love a paper flower. I'm wondering whether any of these could be sort of texture in a collaged background in a painting. I don't know. I really enjoy crafting, the paper crafting, making journals and that sort of thing, but oh no, that's the lid's starting to come off. Don't put them sideways. I'm so absorbed in my art at the moment. I don't really have the time, so but I don't know if I can get rid of these things. I know I'll come back to it one day. Plus a whole load of pens. Some of these will definitely come out. These pens, I love these. These are Zig Clean Colour Real Brush pens. I use these all the time in my bullet journal, so those will need to stay nearby. They're not going to go too far. They might even come back out onto the shelf. These ones, I remember buying these. I just bought them because they were such a bargain. I found them in the range, and they are brush markers from Winsor & Newton. Not light fast, I don't think, but I was thinking, these are all just basically shades of grey. I was thinking that potentially I could use them to sort of do a tonal value underpainting with them. I thought that was quite a nice idea. I like that idea. So I might run with that, give them a bit of an experiment and see if I use them. These, I really like the colours. They're beautiful, soft colours, but I don't tend to use them very much. So not sure. Perhaps I just need to make sure I use them. Some of them I bought when I got into using my sketchbook, and I was very much inspired by Melanie Chadwick. She uses a mix of pens, crayons and paint and all sorts in her sketchbooks, and they look beautiful. I did try, I don't know if you saw that vlog, I took my pens, was it a Cotswolds holiday in the van a few years ago. I've just not had any success with making penned pages look any good whatsoever, so I really just use them for writing rather than drawing. So anyway, that's what's in there. Over here we've got some micro beads. Never used them, but I think they'd be so beautiful as texture in a painting. I want to give that a go. Same with these glass beads here. I kept these flowers because they meant something, and I can't remember where from. I can't remember why. Roses and gypsophilia and some chrysanthemums. The pink of these is kept really well. I don't know. I don't like getting rid of dead flowers. I don't know why. I just let the bunches die whenever I've bought some, and they sit on the mantelpiece or the table, and they sit there dead for a long time before I finally throw them away. These, obviously, I couldn't bring myself to throw them away. I wonder if Chris bought them for me on an anniversary or something. Anyway, okay, back to it. These glitters I bought because they were so pretty. Bought in Michael's on holiday and never used, but I do plan on using those in a painting. I think they'd be cool. So bag of mainly of kitchen roll covered in paint. And then this is my little pile to go upstairs to the sewing room. So this was my nan's box of some of these feathers and some of these trims were my Maidstone nanny. She did ballroom dancing, and I think these are spare trims from her costumes. So those are sort of sitting there. I should use them. I probably never will. In this box we've got some beautiful antique silk flowers. Again, they're just, I struggle to use them because they're just so beautiful, but I will. I'll have to do something special, make a special dress or something and trim it with those, or some of those. Vintage flowers, these are all fabric and lovely, so I'll sew those onto something. More beads to sew onto things, some lovely pearly buttons to sew onto things. I think these are, random pearls, and then my basket of pearls, which again, I buy them because I have an idea and they're just too pretty to use, but I will. I'll bring myself to do it one day. Oh, and then lastly, in this tapestry box, we've got some memorabilia. Oh, here's another bit of trim. I'll move that over to there. So this is my childhood little collection. I don't know where the box came from. I've got a feeling it's my other nannies up the roads. And in here I've got my cycling proficiency badge. If anyone in Britain is my age watching this, you might have had one of these as well. We all had to do a cycling sort of exam, if you like, and yes, I was a monitor, age 11, equivalent of year 6 nowadays. And this little badge I got skiing. Is this Bulgaria? We went skiing in Bulgaria, or was it Romania? Oh, Romania, it says on it. Ah, so that would have been age 11 or 12, I think I got that. So I don't know what to do with this because I don't need it. I'm not getting rid of it. prettier than it looks. So I'm in two minds about this, I'll be honest. So this is actually the tabletop from our outside table. Back in spring, Storm Dara, I think it was, broke the main settee and the main table. And this is the tabletop. So we've got a good strong bit of glass. I don't know if you've seen people just using glass tabletops as their palette. So I thought I could just have this here and then I could use it as a palette when I wanted. I might not do it very often because I do like using the Stay Wet palettes with the lid on the top. Also, as soon as I walk out the door, the cats are on here trying to drink my paint water. I'm constantly covering up my paint water and they still come up here to try and push. Anyway, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. I didn't realise how black it was. I thought it was grey outside. I suppose outside it's constantly reflecting the sky. It is very reflective, so I'm hoping that maybe it won't feel as black as it looks. What do you think? Should I keep it or not? We finally took the furniture to the dump this afternoon and I persuaded Chris to let me keep the tabletop, but only under the condition that I actually use it. Give me a minute to think about it. What I might do is put the stuff back and keep it for a bit and see what I think. So like I don't really like this orangey ready wood. I don't know. Tell me what you think. What are we thinking, folks? I have to admit, the black top is growing on me. I kind of like it. These just didn't look right sitting on top of that. So I've ended up putting that on its own. And I'm not sure. It kind of looks a bit out of place. I don't know what to do next. I wanted to paint this evening and I've just spent all evening doing this. So it's now the next day. I have just finished organising all my oil paint. We've got warm opaques, warm transparents, cool opaques and cool transparents. As I start to get through some of these cheaper paints, and I have duplicates now between Cobra and Artisan, and also start learning what mixes make the same colour. You know, I probably don't need all of these colours. So hopefully in the future I'll get it back down to just having 2 trays, but for now this is what we've got and I don't mind it. I love colours. So now I've got to carry on filling these spaces. I'm going to try and think of another way other than Ferrero Rocher boxes propping these up, because I'd really love to get my tins. I use the Inktense blocks every time and it would just be so good if I could fit them here. It really would. So I'm going to see if I can prop this shelf up differently. So it's all starting to come together now. I've put back most of the stuff that was on this desk and hanging about on the windowsill. So I've got some gaps. I'm going to bring back some of the pens that I do use some of the time. But I thought I would tackle my trolley next because it was getting a bit overwhelmed. I've already taken some stuff out and put it in the empty drawers that are in there. But I think I'm going to move the pastes because this is sort of, again, it's sort of like my prime real estate area, you know, and I don't use the pastes often. And so those are going to go somewhere else. And I'm going to put in other bits and pieces that I grab more often. Yes, I don't know where I'm going to put all the stuff that I'm taking out. So the top is looking good, but also while I'm in this corner I feel like I should not only do the trolley but tackle underneath the table as well. It shouldn't be too difficult. yeah, I need a better solution for where to keep the kitchen roll. This is where I sort of keep my sketchbook that's full of the swatches, so it's to hand. I guess that could do with a slightly more organised spot. But there is some stuff under here that does need organising. At the back, I've got one of Chris's old hoodies at the back there, because Lyra likes to curl up under there, which is quite sweet. But I do have my pyrography machine. This one of these things, I don't know why that's there, to put away. And I've got a box here of, well, I'll show you. It's the edges back from the days when this was my sewing room. That was my box of edges from the overlocker, and I would use these edges sometimes because I was also, back in the day, oh, this is a nice velvet, see, I struggle to get rid of anything. I would use them like ribbons to hang up my wooden signs that I would do the pyrography on. So I might just pull that out and at least put it back upstairs in the new sewing room, because it doesn't need to be there. And also, I don't know where to put it though, but at the back here there is my large A1 plastic portfolio, which was from what I had at school when I did my GCSE art. If I move that, then this trolley can actually fit underneath the table, which would be really quite nice to have that as an option to make it feel a bit more spacious here. So I'm going to have a think and see if I can put that anywhere else. So I've just got a little bit of sorting to do there, but I don't think it will take too long. And some old packaging there, look, I don't need that. So I'm not going to pretend that under here is lovely and neat. It is not. Oh dear, we've just got this extension lead thing that has come all the way around the room because we haven't got very many plug sockets in here. Yeah, I can push that back now, so that's actually created some space. This is a box of rollers, sponges, things like this, and like tools for applying paint. And then to the left I've got some kitchen roll and some cloths for wiping off fabric, some lace to spray through to make patterns, that sort of thing. And then usually on top of that, it's on the floor at the moment, but I just stick my palette paper because I'm always reaching for that, so I want it handy. And I also keep this sketchbook down here. I have just squashed in my old portfolio case from school. Probably not the best place to keep it, but I just couldn't think of anywhere else, and I'm so glad I have moved it from here because it just kept flopping forward, getting in the way, stopping this trolley from sitting neatly against the wall. So I'm glad I've done that job. The portfolio was broken anyway, so okay, this is my quickest change of heart ever, I think. I cannot manage 4 separate drawers with my oil paints. I'm going to have to put my transparents with my opaques. I will still keep my warms separate from my cools. And I do mix between warm and cool more often than I thought I did. I just couldn't, yeah, it just didn't work for the painting I've just done. And actually in cools I've got hardly any opaques. I've only got, I'm not going to include the Montmartre paints because those are quite quickly finishing and won't be around for too much longer. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've only got 5 of the big tubes of opaque cools, so they're not going to take up much space. It will be a bit more harder amongst the warms. I've got more of those. But also, like I said before, as I am learning which colours I like, which colours I can mix easily, I'm going to dramatically reduce the number of tubes of paint I actually need. So I don't think it will be too difficult in the end. Right, I'm going to do this now, ready for my next painting, because that was, yeah, it was too difficult having 4. There just wasn't enough space in this area, so that's what I'm going to do now. So now I have 2 empty drawers here, and I've still got an empty drawer here. I'm going to unpack this. Now I'm a bit embarrassed about this. I've had this was a Christmas present last year, and I clearly have not even opened it. It's one of these products I've been too scared to because they are expensive, but they're also a little bit fiddly to use. So they are pigment powders. Now they were expensive because these are the only ones I can find that are light fast. Well, Brusho is supposedly light fast, but I need to look online on YouTube to see if anyone's done any proper light fast tests on those, because I'd be interested. So all of these are different colours, but they're all pearlescent. I mean, how gorgeous is that? And I've been excited every time I spot them sitting there. I'm like so excited to use them. They look absolutely beautiful. There we go. So anyway, I will let you know, and I will of course show you when I do actually use these. And once I've got started, I think these are going to be I think I'm going to use them all the time, which is why I'm going to put them in one of these drawers. That was a very long-winded explanation. I apologise. Okay, I've had a bit of a rejig. All of the Pearl X little tubs fit here, and then also in here I've put these Lindy's Magicals Nantucket pearls, which are very similar, and I've got these little pots from, where are these from? Stamperia. I've got Glamour Pigments, again metallic pigment powders. So they can go in there, they sort of go together nicely. Unfortunately, these pixie powders from Cosmic Shimmer, again a similar sort of thing. They did fit this way, but I've got too many. I couldn't fit all of them in here. So I took, these were originally in there, they've come into here, and now, I'll just pull that out to show you. They do fit quite nicely along there and across there. Bit difficult still to find the right colours. Being on top of each other, but they were always difficult when they were upright because you couldn't see the colour without moving them all around. These fit quite well together with the Brusho powders because those are also pigment powders. Yeah, I think that kind of works. Yeah, so we've still got one spare drawer, and I'm just thinking about what I would want over here, what am I most likely to use, and I think I wouldn't mind bringing back the pastes. These are things that I forget to use that I've got these like glitter pastes, a deluxe, also metallic pastes, glamour paste, that one's called. I think I need to have a little learn about how to reconstitute some of these. I think they might have dried up. I wouldn't mind having these up on the shelves because, again, I don't want to forget about them. I think with my abstract backgrounds, these could look really cool. I'm going to see if there's anything over here on these shelves right at the back that I could put in a drawer, because these are too big and bulky. They don't fit in any of them, even the tallest one. So it does mean swapping stuff around. And I'm looking, I need to keep my mediums out. I've been pretty good, I think, at organising the stuff at what actually is needed. The only thing I can think of is the glitters, but I don't know if that provides enough space. I'm going to stop recording while I think about this for a second. Okay, my pot of glitters has gone at the top, which actually suits it well because there are other glitters and little beads and things up there, so that's fine. Down here I think is my most troublesome group. Mainly because, even though, how perfectly do these fit? So that's a Ferrero Rocher tray, and these are 3 Ferrero Rocher boxes, and they just fit in this row perfectly, but this is not a stable box. I can't just pick that up and then have a look. So I think what I really need is something a bit deeper like this one down here. So I'll keep a lookout for a better kind of system for these, and then I just swap them over with the mediums because I go to reach for these fairly often. Here we are, here's the finished studio corner, and I am so pleased. I have decided I do like the black glass surface, but do let me know what you think in the comments. I'd be interested because it actually makes the place look quite neat and sleek, and yeah, I think the reflections are actually making it feel a bit more brighter in this corner than just the solid wood that was here before, and all the mess of course. So yeah, I'm so pleased to have everything I need around me now. I have added back some of the pens that I don't really need, so I've got a little bit of leeway if I want to put anything else up here. And I'm so glad to have some of my tins of pencils that I do actually reach for and end up having to go over to the chest of drawers. So now they are out of that corner chest of drawers and into here, and other bits have now got a space, like the inks that didn't have a space before. And I've still got one empty little drawer in here, which I've written in a little piece of paper to remind me, non-light fast gouache, question mark. Because I need to sort through my gouache. A lot of it is quite old actually, because where I've bought bundles off YouTube, and they've been old colours that's been discontinued for a while. Anyway. Yes, I'm doing the ramble, the end of video ramble that I can't seem to help myself from doing. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you've got a studio or a little or a desk or somewhere where you can be creative, I hope it's inspired you to sort out your things, get rid of what you don't use anymore, and perhaps make sure everything you've got that you want to use is around you, because if this is making me happy, I can't wait to get back into the swing of doing my art now that it's all here. Yes. So I will see you very soon. Do share the link with a friend who you think might need some inspiration for tidying up their space, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!